The Whispers in the Walls. In the quaint village of Eldridge, there stood an old mansion that had been abandoned for decades. The locals called it the Eldridge House, and stories of its haunted halls were whispered among the villagers. No one dared to enter, not even on a dare. But Lucas, a curious young man with a taste for adventure, was determined to uncover the truth. He had heard the stories growing up, the tales of flickering lights, ghostly apparitions, and the eerie whispers that seemed to come from the walls themselves. He was convinced that it was all just superstition. One foggy evening, Lucas decided to explore the mansion. Armed with a flashlight and a sense of determination, he made his way through the overgrown garden to the front door. It creaked ominously as he pushed it open, revealing a grand but decaying foyer. The air was thick with dust and the scent of mildew. As Lucas ventured deeper into the house, the floorboards groaned under his weight, echoing through the empty corridors. He explored room after room, each more decrepit than the last. Old portraits hung crooked on the walls, their eyes seeming to follow him as he moved. He reached the grand staircase, its once luxurious carpet now moth-eaten and faded. Lucas ascended, the steps creaking loudly in protest. On the second floor, he found a long hallway lined with closed doors. As he walked, he heard a faint whispering sound, barely audible but unmistakable. He stopped and listened, his heart pounding. He reached the grand staircase, its once luxurious carpet now moth-eaten and faded. Lucas ascended, the steps creaking loudly in protest. On the second floor, he found a long hallway lined with closed doors. As he walked, he heard a faint whispering sound, barely audible but unmistakable. He stopped and listened, his heart pounding. "Help us, free us." Suddenly, a cold draft swept through the hallway. Extinguishing his flashlight, Lucas fumbled in the dark, his hands trembling. The whispers turned into desperate pleas, growing louder and more urgent. He felt a presence behind him and spun around, but saw nothing. Panicking, Lucas tried to retrace his steps, but the mansion seemed to twist and change around him. Every door he opened led to a different room, none of which he recognized. The whispers followed him, now a cacophony of voices pleading for release. Desperation clawed at him as he realized he was hopelessly lost. The walls seemed to close in. The voices now deafening. In his final moments, Lucas understood the truth. The mansion was alive, feeding on the souls of the curious and the brave. The villagers of Eldridge noticed Lucas's absence but dared not enter the mansion to search for him. As the years passed, his story became another whisper in the walls, warning those who dared to listen of the fate that awaited them in the Eldridge house.